Hey guys, welcome back to Our World Outdoors. I'm Tony. So today I want to talk to you about a tent that we brought up before on the budget side of things. We were looking for a tent that was ultralight or close to ultralight, which for me, ultralight is without poles under 2 pounds. That for me, that's a lightweight tent. A lot of tents on the market today are like 4 to 6 pounds. So on the scale of things, we wanted one that would go a little lower. So we made a video on a severe budget tent. I mean, these things can be gotten on sale sometimes for as low as $25. 35 seems to be more of an average to 30, somewhere in there. Now, there recently has been getting a lot of promotion to a tent that's a lot like it, that's $50, that is slightly lighter. And I say to that tent has pullouts on the side, so it's a great tent for summer. I'm not gonna mention any names. All right, we all know what it is. But the Stansport Scout here is still a solid tent for what it is. Now, at $25 to $35, this is a perfect tent to get your children, your grandchildren, or even for you to have and use just on an as-needed basis. For us, this thing has become our backup tent for people that want to go out on trips with us that don't have a tent, especially when it comes to the winter stuff. In the summer, this thing likes to condensate a little bit on the inside, and it can be kind of a pain because it's a single wall tent, and that happens. It also is very small and you can't sit up in it. So it's not the best bet for us with the kind of stuff we do, because we do happen to get stuck in rain inside of our tent a lot out on the trail. So for us, it wasn't the perfect fit, but it did do the job, and it's an excellent tent to keep as a backup. It's a great tent if we're taking the kids with us or we're taking our grandkids with us. We want to give them their own tent. It just become a wonderful piece of gear for us. By taking and getting rid of the stock poles that come with it, the tent actually comes down to 2 pounds solid. All right, that's stakes and everything. Then you use your trekking poles to put it up, which you already should have with you if you're hiking. So let's turn it around, let's take a look at it, and let's go back over the features that made us fall in love with this tent in the first place for a super budget ultralight tent. All right, let's start in the beginning. There is no vestibule on this, you need to know that. We have used all the original hardware with it. You can make this so much lighter by changing the stakes, putting on lighter cordage, you know, lots of ways to do it. It does have a mesh that zips, and it does have doors. In the back, we have a vent window. Now, as you can see, the inside is a thick, like almost tarp material. If you have dogs, this is a great tent to put your puppies in. We don't want our dogs tearing up our floor of our land shantou, so this is great for them. Now, as you can see, you can't sit up in it, but you can still kind of lay sideways and kind of lean up. The pullouts make it so you do have a little bit more overhead room, and for kids, they can sit right up in this. It's great. Now, as you can see, we have the hiking poles. This is what we use to get rid of the poles, because the poles on this are steel and they are heavy. Now, if we close it, we can close the screen and just roll back the doors and keep the bugs out and still have cross ventilation. It does zip at the top and at the bottom. So by doing that, you are fully closed in. Now, I'm gonna let my beautiful wife close the doors, and they close down but leave the venting open at the bottom to let air pass through even when you're completely closed in. All right, now, when we hike together and we both have poles, we can set poles in this and pull up and out and have even more room. Now, I need to say, we're using the stock heavy steel stakes. You could change those and save a lot of weight easily. On the back side here, you've got the window. The only thing that's bad about the window is that it is an exterior window. So when you're inside, if you wanted to open it up, say it's raining, you're gonna have to get out and do it. But it also has zip down so it can't pop up on you. It's not hard to see that this is not a huge tent. But if you're trying to find out if you like backpacking and you're trying to go out as light a weight as possible for your first trip, I can tell you it's pretty hard to beat this money-wise, because if you don't like it, you're not out anything, and more than likely you're gonna have some kids or some grandkids that are really gonna enjoy this just to play in. If you're trying to kind of prepare your children to go out on trips with you, this would be a great option, because you could set this up in the yard, let them play in it, and just let them have fun, let them enjoy it. I'm gonna tell you, when I was a kid, me and my brother both had a tent kind of like this. It didn't have the side pull-outs, and it was basically made out of tarp material. It wasn't near as nice or light as this, but we played in it for hours. We did so many overnights in it. It was a great option then. It's a great option now. Not something if you're gonna be out every couple weekends, or you want to enjoy, you know, sitting up in a tent, more camp style. But if you just want something to crawl on and sleep on, this isn't a bad option to get started with. An excellent option to start someone else on, or have on your shelf in your closet, so that you can bring a buddy or something. These things do great in the winter time, that's for sure. They'll keep your breath and your heat in. That floor is pretty thick too, so it helps. I'm going to put links below to where you can go check this out at some of the best pricing I can find. Go take a look at the specs yourself. Remember, we altered the weight by getting rid of the poles and using our trekking poles. So that's important, because when you look at the weight, it's going to tell you it's much heavier than what it is because of that. You got to include those steel poles in the weight. But until next time, I'm Tony with Our World Outdoors, and we'll see you.